Hey everyone, I wanted to go over some new and fantastic news that we have for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak on both the Nintendo Switch and on PC. And as we have been doing pretty much every single week, Director Suzuki has taken to social media to provide us with brand new details for perhaps one brand new feature, with a brand new change, or some of the things that they're choosing to add for free title update number 3. This is something that they decided to do pretty much leading up to free title update number 2, where we ended up getting a ton of brand new quality of life improvements and a bunch of clarifications on some of the changes that people had been expecting. And of course, now for free title update number 3, we're getting this same thing as well. Last week, the big major change that they confirmed was the fact that, of course, weapon buffs were going to be making their way into this next free title update. Gunlance being the first one that they decided to confirm some changes heading its way. Now what we're getting confirmation for is the fact that followers are going to be getting some tweaks and some brand new options that simply were not available before. Remember, the follower quests are essentially those quests where you bring in characters from Rise and or Sunbreak into an exploration, into a specific hunt for a monster, and they help you, they become your support. You have plenty of options to bring in plenty of different characters with different weapons, and of course the weapons that you choose for them become a little bit more supportive, more aggressive, or more defensive depending on their loadout. One of the things that you didn't necessarily have the power for was some of the changes in some of the follower actions and the way that they hunted, and now that is what is being added in. According to the official North American Twitter account, but the Japanese Twitter account also made the same post. We're not going to be translating anything since they both essentially read in the same manner. The North American reads as follows. It says, "Hey everyone, as part of free title update number 3, you will be able to adjust various settings for your followers, such as whether or not they perform a wyvern riding, were in the same area or other areas as you, whether they set traps, and much more." This is Suzuki, director of Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. They of course attach an image with the menus all the way in English. We're going to be talking about that in just a second, covering pretty much all the options that they have available there. But in the Japanese post, they pretty much say the same thing, and of course they give us a little bit of a glance as to the 4 official added options that you're going to be able to have changes to, and it seems to correlate with the English one as well, so we're not necessarily missing anything out. Now, as far as what the image does showcase, we get a clear shot of the brand new games settings options menu. Of course, this is where you can toggle plenty of different options to customize the game for your own liking. And what you're gonna take a closer look at is basically on the bottom side of the image, where you have 4 brand new options. It says follower, wyvern riding, and in parentheses, same area. There is a toggleable option to the right side where it says running out of time only. Presumably another option could be anytime or never. You know, there could potentially add 3 options, meaning that if the monster becomes rideable and you don't necessarily want your follower or your supporter to be able to ride it, but the monster is still in the same area as you are going to have the option to leave it as is, so running out of time only. So essentially in the last seconds, as it's about to become unmountable, you can have the follower go ahead and do it. Potentially you can turn it off, so it just says never, so they're never going to be able to ride it no matter what. That's only until you choose to engage with the wyvern riding option, or anytime perhaps. So, you know, it would be one of those where they could just do it if they choose to automatically. Now, the same option also applies for the subsequent addition as well. Follower wyvern riding, in parentheses, other areas, it says ride. So they have the option to, if the monster is available to be rode in another area, and they basically will get on that monster and ride it to where you are. This is something that if you've actually done a lot of follower quests, you've probably already seen them do. Chances are they just kind of disappear out of nowhere, and next thing you know, they appear with a monster and they ride around and they just start attacking the monster that you're currently attacking. So if you have been doing follower quests already, chances are you've already kind of seen that behavior before. So if the ride option is one of the options, then not ride would presumably be the other one. So they would just simply follow you into the new area whatever you're fighting the new monster or a different monster, and not necessarily engage with any other rideable monsters outside of, the area you're currently in. And I guess just for clarification's sake, I guess they mean area by essentially the area of engagement, because remember that everything is one big seamless map now. So they don't necessarily mean like one of those segmented areas like the old 3DS PSP type Monster Hunter games. I'm guessing they mean that section of like like when you look at the map on the lower left and you have like a number. So if you're essentially like in area 6, that follower is not going to go into 11 and go grab a monster and come back. That's exactly what I presume they're trying to say. Another one of the options that they mentioned is that you can toggle if you want your followers flash bombs or sonic bombs being used from use to not use. I don't necessarily know what would be the benefit of turning that off. Usually I've never seen them do that many sonic bombs. Maybe if you have like supporters all that time that aren't necessarily like hunting horn users. I've made a couple of videos discussing how beneficial it is to have like Hinoa and Minoto as hunting horns, so they do plenty of songs and keep you buffs, but I haven't necessarily played with followers that do a lot of bombs. I haven't necessarily seen that happen all that much, but that is going to be a toggleable option if you have those type of followers. And the last one that we do get to see here, it says follower trap use. Place is the option that is being displayed. Presumably not place or not use would be the other one. Again, I don't know how beneficial that ultimately is, since of course I want you to lay down a trap. It's just another free stun for me to be able to dish out damage, and of course any other follower you have available with you to make sure to do some little bit extra damage, since we do know the followers do not necessarily do all that much damage. So it would be interesting to see just if you toggle all these options off, if you toggle the wyvern riding off, if you toggle them using bombs or sonic bombs or flash bombs or even traps for that matter, how much of that is gonna correlate to them just focusing 100% on damage and combat and raise their current DPS, which is relatively very low. So it would be interesting to see just how much of that actually changes their behavior. I'm sure we're going to be having people testing these brand new changes, and we're going to see how much of a correlation damage wise we do end up seeing for this. But that's about all the information I want to go with you guys today. I think it's great that we're finally seeing some love for followers and some brand new additional options. The issue, I guess, would actually be that followers are still just limited to just normal monster hunt. You can pretty much hunt every single monster with a follower. That is an option available that you have, other than like Allmother Narwa, I guess, and like Ibushi and normal Narwa. I guess those are the only ones you cannot hunt. But every monster does have a follower normal hunt available to it. The thing here is that we don't have any anomaly investigation monsters, any sort of afflicted monsters that you can do follower quests with. That would be a great addition, another great additional change for this specific option, which I do think is universally liked. I do specifically think that followers have been one of the more positive additional changes that we did get to see in base Monster Hunter Rise, and they're now choosing to expand upon in Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya!